Hello, this is Sabrina Taro at Pierre Luna Tarot 808 with a reading for Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising on regards to the spiritual lessons that you had to go through in your previous relationships in order to land your true love, your soulmate. Be it that you're single right now or that and you're looking forward to finding your soulmate, or that you are with your soulmate already. So it will be a way of meditation. So remember, it's good for sun, moon, or rising, or if you have your Venus in the sixth house, which is the house of, or your Venus in Virgo in the sixth house, which is also the house of Virgo. So what I have for you from the Vivid Tarot Journey are the following two cards, and these are like the ones that set the tone to what you have to go through. Because everything in life it's a lesson. And I know for Virgo, what I'm feeling is, of course, you want to have just like the perfect, like you don't want to make mistakes. And this is what's showing up on the cards. What is showing up is that on your previous relationships, you have the Nine of Cups upside down in reverse. Nine of Cups is your wishes fulfilled. And you also had the Ten of Wands on the upright, which is things that you're holding on to. So with this in reverse, meaning you felt before, as with the other cards as well, where they were showing that you felt before that you had made the right choice with the person that you had picked. Of course, we all feel that when we're in a relationship, it feels perfect. You made the perfect decision, especially when things are going great. So what you're carrying around, or what you might be carrying around, if you're single or if you're in a relationship, and what you might need to put down is that you're stressed that things didn't work out in other relationships, and you're having like this fear that if you didn't choose right before, what makes you think, or what would be different now. You're holding on to, like currently on this April, probably you're holding on to that idea of what if I choose wrong? What it felt like I made the right decision before, and what happens if I choose wrong this time as well. The cards are asking you to meditate, and here you have the Hangman on the reverse. You're seeing things from a different person, or asking you, if you aren't doing it already, they're asking you to do things or to see things from a different perspective. I got this card twice, which is the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is, of course, the card of the passionate queen. She's the manifester, but in this sense, because I had the energy of the Ace of Wands, which is very phallic, of course, and it's very passionate. And with this card, which showed up twice, actually, this two cards showed up twice. So this combination of these two cards, I mean, you don't need to be an expert tarot reader to know what I meant, what I'm meaning with these cards. You don't need to be afraid. You have two cards which are very phallic, and you have the most passionate queen. So either in the past you were choosing your partners, regardless if you're male or female, by the level of physical attraction, the level of sexual intensity. But what the cards are showing me is that it seems that that was the sole reason why you were choosing your partners, because you had this strong sexual connection with them. And in the past, that was not, it wasn't enough, of course. And this season, life is making you rethink that factor, or that way in which you're choosing your partners, and that what you were missing from that connection. Of course, there's nothing wrong with having a very strong connection, like sexual chemistry and awesome sex. This is probably where it's going. You thought that they were the right person for you because the sex was awesome, which is important, of course, in relationships, in romantic relationships. I do believe in that also, Virgo. But the thing is that you are not equating this card, which is the Hierophant. Let's see if I can shoot without the light flashing on it. This is the Hierophant, which has to do with our values, and has to do with traditions. It has to do with, but in this case, is asking me to, it's giving me the idea that you didn't share values with the people that you were before. Of course, and you will know if it resonates. Like, you solely chose them because you had the sexual attraction, but you were not choosing them because or you were not at all putting into the equation if you both had the same values, the same moral code, especially the moral code. And I feel that that's why it didn't work out with the other relationships, because you had very different um, sort of code of ethics with the people that you were with, especially if you had that kind of relationship where it was very passionate, like you had this intense chemistry. Probably could have been like a very hot partner that you were dating, and it was like very steamy sex, nothing wrong with that. But the thing is that that was the only thing that was keeping, that was the only glue between you and the other people. And that's why it didn't work out. That's why it it wasn't long lasting, because that fire can, it's consumed very quickly, especially if you don't have more substance, if there's no content, if there's no real, if you're not really compatible. I mean, being sexually compatible is not, doesn't mean that you're compatible in other areas of your life, and not everything is that not everything in a relationship is about the intensity. Of course, that's important, because if not, you're just hanging out with a roommate or a friend. That's not the idea. But when things get difficult, and when things are not rosy, and when it's not only time to have fun, you need someone who actually has your back and has your values, and not only a person that's with you when things are nice and it's all exciting and it's all about fun. I also had these cards, the seven, no, the Eight of Wands, which is communication, and the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles, and this is a Sagittarius card of communication, Sagittarius and Mercury, which is about, of course, communication and being able to have a good communication. What the cards are telling me is that the recommendation for, and if your next relationship is to work, I feel like you were silent. You're usually silent on communicating your future plans with your partner. And if you want it to work out with the current partner that you're with, or if you're single and you're looking forward to being with someone else, that, oh my God, Lucy. Of course, looks are important. Yes, they are, Virgo. I agree with you. Looks are important, and having the chemistry is important. But having that communication, which is gonna spark the fire, a person that you actually feel you can admire, and that you can have good communication. So, for you, the recommendation is to be honest on what you want. To be honest on what kind of investment you want to make in life. What do you want to grow from the relationship? Like, I feel it's the relationships that you had before were all about fun, all about excitement, but you didn't want to go into the arena of communicating on the long term, the things that are not sexy about a relationship. What do you want to grow out of it? How do you want it to be? Or the things that you're growing that are, you don't want to keep growing. And that if you want to land your soulmate, it's important that you're able to communicate that, and not to be afraid that everything has to be peachy and it has to be sexy. I feel like it's been like partners that are fun to be with at the club, and like when everything's fun, but not when things are not nice, because they're not that kind of person. Because that a relationship that's only based on excitement, and when things are nice or hot and steamy, do not endure when real problems come. And I feel like you felt that when you had maybe like financial problems, or when things here with the King of Pentacles in reverse, when things were like when money was dwindling, or when you had financial insecurity, which of course can put a strain on a relationship. Things are not that sexy when you're having financial problems, right? um, even between the sheets, it's hard to focus on the excitement when you're having all kinds of other financial problems that are taking your mind away from fun. um, and you it's important that, I think, with the nine of wands on the reverse, which is the wounded warrior, like you have like that post-traumatic stress disorder, that you need to be financially well, regardless if you're a male or a female. Like it's important that you don't think that those other relationships didn't work out because you had financial problems. That's not why it didn't work out. And don't come into a new relationship being scared of not being financially well, and that is going to cause the relationship to break or to not work out, because a true relationship is not based on the financial security, which I feel is kind of like an issue for a lot of Virgos, especially. I'm not sure if females, but for males, like you feel that takes from your makes you a bit insecure when you're going through financial problems, and that could be like an issue. Try not to make it. Don't bring that as an issue on your next relationship, because truly the person that loves you, they're not gonna care if you're going through financial problems. That's not a the element of why you're more than your money. Of course, you're more than your assets. And I hope all those Virgos that are males and think that way, that have been polluted by chauvinism, that if you're not a wealthy man, you're not a successful man, or you're not the grown-up man you thought you would be, because anybody can go through financial problems, and money comes and goes. It's not a stable thing, and it's not what represents your true value. I also have these other cards. The Justice on the reverse, so decisions that you made, and the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is very passionate. So you're probably meditating that there were relationships you got into very quickly because of the passionate element, because you had like this chemistry with the person, and you might be thinking, or you might be going through, if that's your situation, of course, that that was not the right decision, especially here because you have the Tower in reverse, and the Queen of Wands. Probably got into relationships very quickly because of the intensity you had with the person, and that turned out to be a recipe for disaster, because it's based, I mean, of course, sexual chemistry is based on superficial things. It's based on things that are not long lasting. Not by that I don't mean that you're gonna date someone you are not attracted to, of course, but not solely if that's the only thing that connects you. If the only thing that connects you is the sexual attraction, is going to be a weak relationship, and you're going to keep encountering relationships that don't work out. Because again, I had on this other deck the Tower on reverse, and I don't feel like you had like with the Tower being on reverse, like the relationships kind of crumbled by their own weight. It wasn't like all of a sudden something terrible happened. It was just that it was a weak connection. So for your next relationships, what the cards are asking you is that you are choosing a person here with the Lovers. You're choosing a person in a more wholesome way, in a way where you both here with the, let's see, here with the two of Wands, where you're choosing a person that is deciding to be with you for the same reasons you are being with them. Like, it's okay if you don't want anything, I'm not throwing judgment here. If you want a casual relationship, if you don't want anything serious, if you think you're gonna be with a person and it's not gonna get emotional or romantic, and you're okay with that, then it's perfectly fine that you choose your partners out of just because you have great sex with them and you have great chemistry, and because they look super hot and you're like a super hot couple. That's perfectly fine. But I feel like that's not what's happening. I feel that Virgo, you also have this part of you which is very sensitive, where you want to be seen, where you want to be valued in a way that is way more than just physical. And even like that maternal kind of uh, you want someone that really loves you, that truly loves you. And even though you confuse the chemistry with connection, you really want that true connection. So it's important that your next relationship, or the one that you're with, and that's what you have to learn from those past relationships. Yes, you had to go through those you had to go through those lessons where you dated these hot people, you had this hot relationships that didn't work out. But there was a reason why they didn't work out, because they were not meant to. They were experiences, but just have in mind not to be like the Nine of Wands, to have that post-traumatic stress disorder, that anything that has to do with love or relationships or romance is gonna be something toxic per se. It's not toxic per se to be vulnerable, to fall in love with someone, as long as you're not confusing the infatuation with real love. And that when you're with a person, that both are in the same, you're in the same frequency, that and you're communicating well what you want from the relationship, and that you're choosing each other for the same reasons, not only because it's easy to be with a person. Yeah, it's an easy connection when you find yourself very sexually attracted to someone. Like, it's an easy step to move in with them, it's an easy step to be with them all the time, because it's always exciting to be with them all the time, until you're not in the high frequency, until trouble comes, until there's difficulties, and the other person is just there for a good time. And or especially if you don't share the same core values in life, it starts knocking on your door, regardless of how much you think with good sex you can cure it all. Like, until a certain point, you can soothe um, relationship problems with makeup sex. There's a point where it just doesn't work anymore. So, and I had this card again of wishes fulfilled. You want, especially that Virgos are very are perfectionists, and you want the perfect job, you want whatever you get yourself into, you want it for it to be perfect, to be as smooth and as perfect as possible. And it's of course you're not gonna click all the boxes if you're driving yourself by, or making your decisions based on this, right? So, and it has to be a person, because Virgo, you're also an intellectual. You like you're very good at thinking. That's why you're a perfectionist, because you can see things more. You see more details than most people see. You see through the bullshit better than anybody else, better than the rest of the signs. So if it's a person that you don't value their mind, or you cannot access their mind, or you're not in the same frequency, you're probably not going to be able to grow something that's long lasting with the Knight of Pentacles, if the person doesn't have that potential to understand your mind as well. And I see there's going to be a change for you, and or if it hasn't happened yet, depends if you're single, if you're in a relationship, if you're in the right relationship, or maybe you might still be in the wrong one. You would know on which one. And of course, it's your decision what kind of relationship you want to be in. I mean, it's your life, and life is short, but I mean, I think time is clicking, and it's passing, and you're considering, who do I want to be for the rest of my life. Depends on what age you are. I mean, and when we're in our 20s, we don't think those things, but when you start hitting your 30s and 40s, you're like, so who am I really going to spend my life with? Because I mean, a relationship is not only about sex. Not that I think that like a long relationship should lose the chemistry. I think that's just as important. If not, it's not a relationship. You're just roommates. I think, no, I think no. I feel that the right relationship, if it's not happening for you already, is gonna show up if you're on here already, where you find the Empress. Now, the Empress is a very interesting card for tarot. I have 16 years of experience reading tarot cards, and anytime that somebody asks me for a reading and they ask about a person and the Empress shows up, it means that this is, I mean, the Queen of Wands is all about the moves, and she's got a lot of fire. She looks good. She's attractive. She stands out. But there's a limit to her fire. While the Empress, she has that energy of the Queen of Wands. Well, she also has the heart. She has the mind. She is independent. This is a woman that you admire. Usually, and there was a video I was watching of a woman that was saying that she asked, like, men why they decided to marry the woman that they decided to marry and that they're very happy with. And they all had a very similar answer, which I thought was very on point with the Empress. They all admired them. And they admired what they did. They admired them on, especially for you, Virgo, on what they did on a daily basis. That they were empowered and that they exuded this Empress energy. It's a person that has all the qualities. It's a very wholesome personality. Now, of course, if you're a male, if you're a female, it would be the Emperor for you. It would be a man that is in his place and that you actually admire. I mean, you don't only click with them at the sexual level. You click with them at an intellectual level. You click with them at a business level. You click with them at a heartful level where you feel like they're also nurturing, but they're also independent. Like, if you were out of their life, they would be fine with it because they are wholesome already. They don't need another person to be wholesome. So this is when you find this person that you say, no one else compares to this person. No one clicks the boxes as this person. That's when you know that is a relationship that is going to last, that you can work, you can build things with them with the Three of Pentacles, and that you don't only feel the passion of, not only the passion here of the Knight of Wands, which goes very quickly into the battle, but his energy fades very quickly as well. You also have this energy of the Knight of Cups. So the key here would be that it's a person that you don't only feel that attraction, because I'm not saying you should put that aside, that's very important, but it should be a person that you also feel you want to be romantic with. Like, that's a person you are willing to be vulnerable with. You are willing to be like a child with them. You're willing to have fun with them. You're willing to, like, if they, I don't know, like, do all those things that you saw other people and doing, like when they were truly in love, and I don't know, like silly things. They buy them teddy bears, or because their partner likes teddy bears, or their partner loves whatever kind of thing, and you're like, oh my god, my partner loves that, and I'm gonna get it for them. And like, you would do things you wouldn't think you would do. Like, you would really get vulnerable with this person, and it comes from your heart. It's born from your heart. You have like this desire to be sweet with them. So it's a person that would ignite your romanticism, and it's a person that you see wholesome, that you even see as yourself. And if you're a woman watching this video, that you feel comfortable in making a life with this person and becoming the Empress for this person, and putting all your resources and building a life with this person, including having a family with this person, like giving all your resources, as long as of course they're reciprocating, because the Empress has a lot of self-respect. I mean, the Empress will check you. Like, if you're telling you giving her bullshit or you're doing things you shouldn't be doing, she's gonna tell you, because the same love that she has to offer you is the same love that she has for herself. Because real true love is when you really value yourself, then you can give that same value to another person. If you're lacking that value for you, you're not going to be able to give wholesome love to someone else. So that's what I have for you, Virgo, Sun, Moon, or Rising, on regards to the lessons they had from your past relationships and the lessons that are, or at the stage you're gonna be able to, once you conquer this class, the spiritual class, that's when you're gonna be able to land your soulmate. And if you like a personal reading, my information is on the description. And all the best wishes for you to find your soulmate, Virgo. Bye.